Today, the St. Louis Dragons will be wrapping up the regular season here in year number 2 with the Bears and the Packers on the schedule for Week 17 and 18. Unfortunately, the Dragons have officially been eliminated from postseason contention after losing in Seattle last week to their division rival Seahawks 41-28. And with 2 more games to go, we now recognize that we will not be playing in the postseason, and rather we've really got to get ourselves looking towards next season. But we're not necessarily going to try to lose these games and tank for draft position. We want to continue to set a culture and foundation. In the last episode, we had another prospect profile going through the linebackers and defensive backs in this year's draft class, 2 very strong position groups, especially the DBs. And so we have now done prospect profiles for every position within the draft class. We'll be adding some late additions to the draft class in the season recap, which is the next episode. And of course, the draft itself should be very exciting for our team. We also had Simeon Bonnet, the superstar rookie pass rusher, officially go up to superstar development as he successfully completed his second breakout challenge of the year against the Seattle Seahawks, and he did it right at the end of the game with a sack with around 2 minutes left to go. Currently, he has no outsiders, BOGO, and Swim Club as his 3 superstar abilities. And I think with the year he's having, there's a chance he goes up to X Factor for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year and leading the league in tackles for loss, which is pretty incredible because we drafted him with normal development. For him to go up to X Factor in 1 year is ridiculous. So as we get ready for our final 2 games of the year, there are a few players who I'm really excited to watch. I'm really curious about this running back position because Joe Mixon and DeAndre Swift are both free agents at the end of the year, and I'm really not sure what I want to do with them. Griffin Weaver III and Tykeem Keon Jr. will both be getting extensive playing time at wide receiver. We'll be getting to see more of them. And then defensively, I think the name to watch is Trajan Blanchenden, the rookie edge rusher out of NC State, a guy who I think could have a big role next year, especially depending on how he performs today. This is what the playoff picture looks like right now. The 2 teams we're facing off against, Green Bay and Chicago, both have a lot of playoff implications. The Packers are currently the 3 seed, leading the NFC North, while the Chicago Bears are not too far behind on their tail. The Packers are 9-6. They can clinch the division with a win today here in Week 17, but the Vikings and Bears still have a shot as well. So I would love to play spoiler with the Bears, but on the flip side, I also don't want to see the Packers make the playoffs because, well, I don't like the Packers. Let's take a look at Chicago. They are, of course, led by the 4th-year pro Justin Fields at the quarterback position, and he has significantly improved as a passer throughout his career. He's still got a long ways to go, but the improvements he's made since his rookie season has gifted him a massive contract extension with the Chicago Bears, having a career year, leading the team to playoff contention, if nothing else. Khalil Herbert, Marcellus Boone, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Darnell Mooney, and Cole Kmet lead the skill position group. And defensively, this team is super young, led by rookies Aramis Swearinger, who's an 81 overall. Ralph Cookins was a top pick. Hakeem Cypress, also a first-rounder in this year's draft. The Bears have a full-on youth movement on the defensive side of the ball, and I think it'll be interesting to see that side in action. So let's get this one started. Week 17 at Soldier Field, the final road game of the season for the St. Louis Dragons, who have struggled on the road last year, coming off a season last year where a majority of their wins came on the road, interestingly enough. The Dragons lost to the Bears at Soldier Field late last season. They returned this year looking to potentially get revenge as Puma Whitlock returns to Big Ten country here in Chicago. We'll see which Ohio State quarterback can get the win. Will it be Puma Whitlock or will it be Justin Fields? The Dragons open up with the ball, 2nd and 6. Puma looks to throw it, clean pocket, sends it downfield for the rookie, Griffin Weaver III, who gains 40. It's been an up-and-down rookie season for Weaver. We've seen the flashes with him, but he's also missed 5 games due to injury. Last week against Seattle, he had a bad drop on a 4th down and a fumble on the opening kickoff. We've definitely seen the good and the bad with Weaver. 1st and goal, play action. Here's Puma under a lot of pressure, and he is sacked on the play by Justin Jones, who brings him down to the 19-yard line. A big loss for the Dragons. And now it's a 3rd and goal, still from the 19-yard line. Puma looks to throw it, has plenty of time, looking for Will Dissly, and it's overthrown in the end zone. Jalen Johnson and Jaquan Brisker, they're in coverage, and so that'll bring out the field goal unit 36-yard try for Cameron Dicker. The kicker is up. It is barely good. Looked like that one had a chance to go to the left, but it squeaks through. And the Dragons are on the board with a field goal as they lead 3-0. Here comes Chicago. Fields under pressure here. He connects. That's Deontay Johnson, acquired via trade in the offseason, who brings it to the 47. And the Bears' offense is looking pretty good right now as they've got it at the 30. Fields hands it off to Khalil Herbert to the left side with blocks. Breaks the tackle from Savage and brings it to the 12. A big drive here for Khalil Herbert, who nearly has 50 yards already. And now the Bears have it on the goal line from the 1. First and goal. Fields looks to throw it, and he connects. That's a touchdown for the Bears. DJ Moore with the score. Chicago marches down the field to start the game, and they lead 7-3. The Dragons' defense had one of their worst performances of the year last week, and so that's not an ideal start to this game. St. Louis back with it as Puma misfires on 3rd and 9 for DeAndre Swift, who had an easy first down. He was wide open, but Puma misses the throw, and Chicago gets it back with 2 to play in the quarter. Fields under pressure. He's sacked. It's the rookie, Simeon Bonnet, who has, count him up, 12.5 sacks. What a rookie season it has been for Simeon Bonnet. The obvious choice for Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he is still very much in play for Defensive Player of the Year. Dragons back with it. Puma on 2nd and 11. He's intercepted. Tremaine Edmonds picks it off, and Chicago will force the turnover. Puma's done a good job of taking care of the football. That's his first interception since all the way back in Week 11. But he is now at 12 interceptions thrown on the year, and the Bears get it back. 3rd and 6. Fields going to look to scramble with it. Gets by White. Lit up by Owen Popo, but he does just barely get the first down. That was close. Now into the second quarter, Bears lead 7-3. Fields hands it off up the middle for Khalil Herbert with nothing but green grass ahead. He's in for a Chicago Bears touchdown. They lead it 14-3. So the Dragons get it back. They turn the ball over. That leads to a touchdown, and now the offense needs to respond. Puma on 2nd and 8 connects with Michael Gallup to the 33. Good to have Michael Gallup healthy. I think him and Puma are really starting to form some chemistry, with this being just Gallup's 6th game of the year. Here's Isaiah Likely up the middle. He is banged up on the play. Not going to be a serious injury. He should return to the game. And now the Dragons have it on the goal line. 3rd and goal from the 2 with under 4 to go. It's a pitch to the right side for Mixon. He is in. Touchdown, Dragons, as he lowers his shoulder into Jaquan Brisker. Nice score for Joe Mixon. And it is a 14-10 game as the Dragons are back in it. Chicago with the ball. Here's Fields on the option with blocks. Justin Fields down the field. Hey, pun intended, to the 45 as Levi Onwuzurike is hurt for about the 12th time this year. I feel like every Dragons interior defensive lineman has been banged up seemingly every game. Here's Khalil Herbert with plenty of rushing room. He's nearing the 100 yards mark already. He's a little bit banged up. Should be able to return to the game shortly, but for now it'll be the rookie Marcellus Boone, joined by Roshan Johnson in the backfield as Boone on first down loses 2. He's wrapped up by Devin White, who very quietly has been one of the best players on this team through the second half of the year. White maybe hasn't been as impressive as last year, but he's probably going to lead the NFL in tackles again, and he just continues to be really solid. Fields overthrows DJ Moore. That's a touchdown, but he misfires, and that'll be at least a 4-point swing, maybe more, as the Bears go for a 51-yard field goal. It's up. Doink off the crossbar. No good. And so the Dragons will still only be down by 4. They are lucky that Fields missed that previous pass that, again, would have resulted in a touchdown. And now the Dragons have a great opportunity to take the lead before half. Puma under pressure. He is sacked. Gervin Dexter, the second-year defensive tackle at the University of Florida, brings him down, and so now it is a 3rd and 12. Puma looks to throw it, has time, he's intercepted again! A second turnover in the first half, forced by the Chicago defense. This time it's Kyler Gordon, the young corner out of the University of Washington, who picks him off. And the Bears have it back. Savage has an interception right in his hands that he drops. That's right in your hands, man. You got to catch the ball. 2nd and 10 now from the 30. Fields looks to throw it up the middle. It's caught for a first down by Darnell Mooney. Chicago looking to add to their lead now from the 17-yard line. They still have the timeout in their back pocket as Fields has time looking for the end zone. Another interception dropped by the defense. Rocky Sin had it in his mitts. He can't come down with it, and with 1 second left, the Bears are going to kick. Chicago's awfully lucky that they still have a second left. That last play was a really long one. Kick is good, and that'll wrap up the first half in what has been a pretty competitive game so far. Puma Whitlock has not had his best performance. He's thrown 2 interceptions as the Bears lead it 17-10. Let's move into the halftime report now. Take a look at the rest of the league, some of these playoff races, and we will start in Green Bay. 2 teams who are ferociously fighting for their division, San Francisco and Green Bay. And we've got ourselves a ball game, 21-21. Jordan Love has been on fire. Christian Watson is over 120 yards and a touchdown. CMC for the Niners has been dominant. In Indianapolis, the Colts have tied for the worst record in the league. They could be in play for the number 1 pick, which would mean they could be in play for a quarterback. Well, Anthony Richardson does not want that to happen. He's 13 of 14 with 2 touchdowns, but the damage might already be done. Richardson's been picked off 28 times this year. And in Foxborough, the undefeated New England Patriots are keeping it close. They lead the Titans in the first half as New England looks to improve their record to 16-0. That would just be the second time in NFL history that anyone has been 16-0. The first time, the New England Patriots in 2007. Let's move to the second half now as the defense has been up and down. Justin Fields has made some good plays and he's made some bad plays. Puma Whitlock has also been up and down, but I think the big difference right now is the ground game. Look at Khalil Herbert go. He's at 117 yards right now. The Dragons have no answer for him. He has looked like a superstar for the Bears. Herbert back with it with so much room up the middle. Jukes away from a defender and is hit hard, but not before getting the first down. The Bears' successes running the ball today have been a mixture of this excellent run blocking along with Khalil Herbert looking like prime AP. Here's Cole Kmet out of bounds with a first down as Levi Onwuzurike is hurt. Again, I sound like a broken record saying that. The Bears are moving it down the field very nicely here within the first couple minutes of the third. Here's Herbert. Kaboom! Lit up by Devin White. Herbert hurt on the play again for the Bears. So once again for now, it'll be Marcellus Boone and Roschon Johnson leading the run game for Chicago. 3rd and 11. Fields looking for the end zone. It is caught but out of bounds. DJ Moore was about to flip his body and drag his feet in, but Rocky Ya-Sin makes a great play on the receiver to push his leverage out of bounds, meaning that the Bears will be held out of the end zone. Regardless, it is now a 2-score game as the field goal is good, and the Bears are ahead at 20-10. The Dragons offense looking to respond after a shaky first half from Puma Whitlock with 2 turnovers. Puma on first down has Isaiah Likely wide open. Throw a little bit offline, but Likely makes the grab, continuing his exceptional season, looking like a potential stud of the year candidate. 2nd and 10 now from the 46. Up the middle, wide open is Joe Mixon. That's a first down, and the Dragons are moving it. They knew their offense has to get something going here, and, well, they sure are. 2nd and 10 from the 27. Here's Puma. Up the middle again. This time DeAndre Swift, who is pummeled to the ground. He's hurt on the play, but he does get the first down, and it won't be a serious injury. He should return to the game pretty soon. From the 11 now, a huge play for St. Louis. It's 3rd and 6, and it's a run with Mixon, who nearly gets the first down. The Dragons ran the ball there because they felt that they were in 2-down territory. They want to go for it here on 4th down, knowing that they're eliminated. They have nothing to lose. Why not? Puma under pressure. He is sacked by Kyler Gordon. So the Bears get the stop in the red zone, and the Dragons turn it over on downs. Chicago back with it, 3rd and inches from the 19. Here's Fields on the read option with plenty of room. Gets it to the 33. Not before getting the first down, and Fields is having a great day himself on the ground. Him and Khalil Herbert combined have over 200 rushing yards. Fields again on the option. Fools Simeon Bonnet, and Fields brings it to the 31. As good of the year as Simeon Bonnet has had as a run defender, he has gotten cooked on back-to-back read options by Justin Fields. Here's a jet sweep for Deontay Johnson. He gets it to the 4-yard line. And to enter the 4th quarter, the Bears look like they're in a really good spot. They're up by 10 points. They had the ball at the 6. We'll see if they can extend the lead. 2nd and goal. First play of the 4th. Here's Fields under pressure. Nearly sacked by Bonnet. But instead, he'll be wrapped up by Devin White for a loss of 4. That'll make it a 3rd and goal. Can the Bears punch it in, or will they be held to another field goal? Fields backs up in the pocket, and he's hit as he throws. Incomplete. Joseph Osai leads the pressure. Osai, one of the many impending free agents on this roster, looking to potentially prove his worth and get a second contract. Kick is good, and so the Bears lead it 23-10 as it remains a 2-score game. Dragons back with it. 3rd and 5. Easy throw. Woo! Nice little juke move by Swift. With blocks. Down the field. Woo! A nice little juke move again for Swift as he brings it to the 29. What a play after the catch by DeAndre Swift, who has been a weapon in the pass game today. 5 receptions for 69 yards. Nice. From the 29-yard line now, play action fake. Here's Puma. Rolls out to the right. On the run with Griffin Weaver. He's in for a touchdown. Big drive from the Dragons with 2 huge plays by Swift and Weaver. We have a flag, but I think this play is going to stand. We've got a late hit, roughing the passer, and so the touchdown will stand as the penalty is on Noah Sewell. Go Ducks. So the Dragons bring it within 1 score off of the touchdown from Puma Whitlock to Griffin Weaver, the rookie connection. And it is now 23-17. 3rd and 3. Here's DJ Moore with a first down. Breaks a tackle. Moore fighting for extra yardage as he brings it to nearly midfield at the 48. The Dragons have to get a stop here. They can't allow another field goal or else the Bears will put themselves back ahead by 2 scores. Chicago chewing clock, 5.5 to go. It's another jet sweep for Deontay Johnson. Johnson breaks a tackle, fumbles it, and it's picked up by the defense. It's Osai who recovers it, and the fumble was forced by Owen Papo, continuing his phenomenal season at linebacker. And as you can see, that ball is clean out. That's a fumble. A massive turnover from the St. Louis Dragons defense. And now they get a great opportunity to potentially take the lead. 2nd and 3. Mixon up the middle with room. Gets a first down and more to the 39-yard line. Big run for the Dragons. Now only around 3 minutes to go. The clock not an issue for them. From the 27, Puma looks to throw it. Has time, looking for the end zone. It's Greg Dortch. Touchdown, Dragons. St. Louis takes the lead with around 3 minutes to go. Puma Whitlock with another huge drive here in the 4th quarter. And it's Greg Dortch who puts St. Louis on top. So now it's the Bears' turn. They trail by 1. There's Johnson with the first down. He, of course, had the fumble on the last drive. But other than that, he's had a pretty solid day. At the 40, 2.5 to go. Fields looking to run with it. Gets by Kinlaw. Fields with a huge gain to the 41. He's over 100 yards rushing. All the Bears need is a field goal in order to take the lead. I'm sure they would like more here, but they just need points. First play after the 2-minute warning. Here's Moore, wide open up the middle, and the Bears are officially in field goal range as they have it at the 15-yard line. Let's see if Chicago can potentially finish out the game on this possession. They're not really chewing clock yet. I feel like they should. As it's now a 3rd and 1. Roschon Johnson up the middle. He's in. The Bears regain the lead, and presumably they'll go for 2 to look to add it to 7. Huge drive from Justin Fields, who's had a phenomenal second half at quarterback for the Bears. It's a pitch for Johnson. He's in. An 8-point drive for Roschon Johnson, and it's now 31-24. Here comes the offense. Puma Whitlock, as we know, strives in the big moments. He's already had 2 big touchdown drives in the 4th quarter today. Let's get one more. Here's Joe Mixon to the left side, loses 2, and he's hurt on the play. This is a double whammy because A, Joe Mixon's hurt, that sucks, and B, the Dragons have to use their last time out. This gives them a lot less flexibility with the clock. 2nd and 12, Puma looks to throw it. His pass is intercepted. Malcolm Rodriguez, the former Lion, picks it off, and that'll do it. Puma Whitlock throws 3 interceptions here against the Bears, and Chicago gets the win 31-24, keeping their playoff hopes alive with a huge second half from quarterback Justin Fields, as unfortunately the Dragons are unable to get the job done. We stayed in it until the very end, but the turnovers really costed us. Puma Whitlock's only second game with 3 interceptions in his career, and the last one ends up being the dagger. Other than the interceptions, I thought Puma was really good, 20 of 26, excluding the interceptions, 277 yards. He had some really good throws in the second half. In the fourth quarter in particular, he had some big drives, but the turnovers were costly, and that was the issue for him today. Justin Fields, I know the passing stats aren't that impressive, but he had some really good throws in the second half, and as a runner, he was huge. Him and Khalil Herbert combining for nearly 250 yards on ridiculous efficiency. Our run defense was not good. The receiver standouts include DJ Moore, Griffin Weaver, amongst others, and then defensively, the rookie Ralph Cookins with 3 TFLs, Simeon Bonnet and Devin White both performed well, and then, of course, the interceptions by Edmonds, Gordon, and Rodrigo with the finisher. So we unfortunately have 2 new injuries as well, and since these will be multi-week injuries, these are now season-ending injuries. Thaddeus Mathis, torn abdominal. Damone Clark, dislocated elbow. We're going to put both players on IR because they're not going to come back this year, considering they're going to be out through Week 18, and I want to get those extra roster spots. We will be getting Emmanuel Ogbah back for the final week of the year, so that's cool. Here's a look at your Week 17 scores. New England does beat Tennessee. They are now 16-0, looking to be the first team to go 17-0 with the Houston Texans standing in their way. Justin Fields wins Player of the Week. It's been a noticeable trend that guys in our games win Player of the Week. Herbert in Week 11, McCaffrey in Week 12, nobody in Week 13, Brian Branch in Week 14, Puma in Week 15, Geno Smith last week, and now Justin Fields. He'll be joined by Joe Burrow, Jamal Adams, and Derek Stingley. Quite a few LSU Tigers. Actually, everybody there except for Justin Fields went to LSU. So that'll bring us into Week 18, the final week of the year, and this is what the playoff picture looks like going into the final week of regular season action. In the AFC, New England and Kansas City are both gunning for the 1 seed at 16-0 and 15-1, respectively, while the Ravens are the only other team to clinch. They've already won their division because their division sucks. The other playoff spots are all up for grabs. As for the NFC, certainly not as top-heavy. The Falcons can get the 1 seed with a win. If not, it goes to Dallas, while the Giants are the only other team to clinch. As for Green Bay, they can win their division with a win today, but with both of Chicago and Minnesota winning and Green Bay losing this past week, the Packers are unable to clinch, so we can play spoiler on them. In case you're curious about where all the top draft picks lie, New Orleans, Cleveland, and the Colts all have 3 wins, tied for the worst record in the league. As for the Dragons, we would be picking 7th right now, and we will, no matter what, pick somewhere between 4 and 11, depending on what happens today here in Week 18. Getting a nice draft pick is nice, but I think winning this game really can be more important, especially with turmoil in the locker room again. This storyline popped up a few weeks ago because the offense was playing the blame game, pointing the finger at the defense, and they're doing it again, which really, again, is not a good look, and it makes our offensive leaders look bad. And it's not like our offensive leaders were all that great last week. Michael Gallup did nothing. Joe Mixon struggled and then got hurt. And Puma Whitlock threw 3 interceptions. So if those are the guys who are talking, then I don't know why they are, because they are at as much fault as the defense is. And if it's not those 3, then who is? Other than like DeAndre Swift and Griffin Weaver, nobody on offense was really all that good last week. As we take a look at the Packers, they, of course, are in a win-and-in scenario. If they win their division, they're going to the playoffs, led by Jordan Love, who's been really good over the last couple of years. But unlike Chicago with Fields, they're not sold on him. He's not under contract for next year, which is a surprise with how well he's played. He's got a good group of weapons around him out of the backfield with Aaron Jones and Darwin Judkins. Unfortunately, Judkins is hurt, which stinks because I wanted to play against him because we almost drafted him. And then wide receiver, Jaden Reed and Christian Watson's a really solid duo. Robert Tonyan back after 1 year in Chicago. But the strength of this team is really on the trenches. They've got a good offensive line, a good defensive line, led, of course, by Rashawn Gary, who's a phenomenal pass rusher, and a talented secondary led by Jair Alexander, who's arguably the best corner in the game, with some other young guys like rookie Micah Boston. We do have 2 extra roster spots, so we're going to call some guys up from the practice squad, the first of which being former Packer Devontae Wyatt, whose Dragon debut will be against his former team, and then Troy Anderson will get the other spot, with us losing a defensive lineman and linebacker due to injury. We're going to have a defensive lineman and a linebacker come up off of the practice squad. I think Wyatt is definitely going to play a lot. As for Anderson, he's going to get a lot of special teams reps. Replacing them on the practice squad, we will start with Tyquan Thornton, the speedy receiver out of Baylor. And then the second spot will be D'Angelo Malone, the former Western Kentucky pass rusher. So that'll bring us into Week 18, our final game of the year, and it's going to be in the snow. The Dragons with their second snow game of the year. Their previous one was in Week 15 against the Bills. And obviously the Dragons did not win that game, and they also did not lose that game. That, of course, ended up as a tie. So we'll see if the Dragons actually get a win or loss this week. If there's any team who should be prepared for the elements more so than the Bills from that previous snow game, it's the Green Bay Packers, who have to play in freezing Wisconsin. They have snow at Lambeau quite often during the end of the year, so these guys should be well equipped to deal with the elements. Let's see if the Dragons can finish off season number 2 strong and get their 6th win of the year and potentially take the Packers out of the playoffs. 3rd and 3, it's a pitch from Mixon to the right side. He does not get it, a yard shy, not even, of the first down. Normally we would punt it, but it's the last game of the year. It's 4th and inches. I get that we're a minute in and we only have the ball at the 42. But why not? What's there to lose? DeAndre Swift with the first down up the middle. And he gets a lot more than a first down, gaining around 10. Nice play for the Dragons as they are able to keep the chains moving. And they would slowly but surely march it all the way into the red zone. 2nd and 4 for St. Louis. It's a handoff for Mixon. Looking to break the tackle, but he loses at least 2, maybe 3. The big defensive tackle, Kenny Clark, is there to bring him down. And it's now a 3rd and 6. The Dragons hoping for a touchdown here on this first drive, as it is caught up the middle for a first down by Michael Thomas. Way to hold on to the ball. The defensive back was flying right at him. 2nd and goal now from the 1. Puma will hand it off for DeAndre Swift. He'll walk the red carpet like he's Hollywood. Touchdown, Dragons, and St. Louis marches down the field. They take the lead 7-zip. So here comes the Packers offense, of course led by Jordan Love and the gang. 2nd and 5. It's a handoff for Jones, and he's going backwards. Devontae Wyatt on his first snap as a Dragon gets the tackle for loss, trying to show the Packers what they've been missing by letting him go. 3rd and 6 now. Can the Dragons force a 3 and out? It looks like a screen here for Jones with blocks. He will not get the first down. Big tackle by Rock Ya-Sin, one of the defensive captains, coming in to make the play. Again, Ya-Sin, an impending free agent, as is pretty much everybody on this roster. 3rd and 5. Puma under a lot of pressure. He will throw it away, making sure he avoids the sack, as he's unable to find any open receiver. Good pass rush and coverage by Green Bay, and they'll get it back with around 30 seconds left to go in the quarter. Here's Jordan Love on 2nd down. He connects with Aaron Jones. Open up the middle of the field, and Jones gets it to the 44-yard line, and so that'll just about wrap up the first quarter. 7-0. Dragons on top. From the 44, first play of the second, it's a play-action fake. Here's Love with a beauty into the hands of the tight end. Luke Musgrave is quickly able to flick his hips and get the first down reception as he's out of bounds at the 29. 3rd and 9 now for Green Bay. We'll see if the Packers can convert here again. Love under a lot of pressure, rolls out to the right, and he is nearly sacked by Simeon Bonnet as he throws it away, and the defense gets another stop. Green Bay is in field goal range. They should be able to kick, but so far the defense has really answered to the call from the offense. However much it's deserved really doesn't matter here because the defense so far has shown up. Now it's 7-3 as the Dragons get it back here and they look to extend their lead. Puma Whitlock has a clean pocket. He has plenty of room up the middle, and he will run for the first down to the 39. Puma's really gotten more comfortable running with it during the second half of the year. He knows his legs are weapons, and he's done a good job of avoiding hits as a runner. 3rd and 15. Weaver gets 14, pushed out by Eric Stokes. So he nearly gets the first down, and now it is a 4th and 1. The offense is going to stay on the field and go for it again. Puma looks to throw it. He is Weaver wide open. That's a first down. Luckily, unlike the Seattle game, Griffin Weaver does not drop a wide open first down. Weaver's been shaky, but he's looked pretty good here against Green Bay and then last week against Chicago. 3rd and goal. Play action. Puma on the run. Dumps it short for Isaiah Likely. He's not in. It looked like he might have been, but they won't give him the call. He's pushed back by Quay Walker. It's 4th and goal. The offense is going to go for it again. And Mixon is in for a score as he injures Rashawn Gary by leveling him going into the end zone. That was an RPO. Puma takes what the defense gives him, and it's 14-3. Here's Jordan Love on the run. Misfires on 3rd and 9. Another stop for the defense. And St. Louis gets it back. 3rd and inches. Handoff for nobody. It's a read option. And that's not going to fool Lucas Van Ness. He pummels Puma Whitlock to the ground as it'll be a loss of 2. And Green Bay gets it back after the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 2. Short throw caught by Musgrave. That's a first down. Out of bounds at the 32, stopping the clock. The Packers have 2 timeouts and a minute and a half here at their disposal as Love fires for Jaden Reed, the talented former second-round receiver out of Michigan State. From the 49, here's Love up the middle once more. Jaden Reed again, and Jordan Love really finally seems to be getting into a rhythm after a slow start to the game. 3rd and 1, Love has time, and it is broken up, incomplete. Good defense there from Darnell Savage, the former Packer, with the deflection. 4th and 1, the offense will stay on the field. They're going to go for it as Love looks to throw it short. It's caught for a first down by Jaden Reed, who's quickly hit by Savage, but he's able to hold on to the ball. The clock is running. There's less than 10 seconds left on the clock. A short throw caught by Reed, and the Packers used their final timeout. I feel like Green Bay really could have done more on that possession, but they mismanaged the clock, and they're going to have to kick a field goal here, 36-yard try to make it a one-score game. It is good. So Green Bay is only down by 1 possession. It's now 14-6, and the Packers do start with the ball in the second half. Nonetheless, the Dragons' defense has answered the call. They have not allowed a touchdown yet. We'll see if they can keep it going in the second half as we take a look at our final halftime report for season number 2. The Packers need the Bears to lose. Chicago is currently facing off against the struggling Rams, and so far LA has the edge in a close battle. The Bears losing would certainly help Green Bay's case, and since I don't want to see the Packers win, bear down. Buffalo is in a win-and-in scenario, and it looks like they're in. The rookie, Giuseppe Macias, with 2 touchdown receptions, including that one. They lead 35-10. And finally, the Atlanta Falcons looking to get the number 1 seed for good. They currently lead Carolina 10-0. The Falcons got embarrassed when they played against Carolina earlier in the season. That game proved to be a turning point for them as they have looked back and run, and now they're getting their revenge on Carolina for good. As for New England, I imagine people are curious about what's going on with their game. They're currently in a tight battle with the Houston Texans, who win their division if they beat the undefeated New England Patriots. So that's a really important game for both teams, as the Patriots still have to clinch the number 1 seed. Let's go to the second half. Green Bay starts at the ball. Love connects short with Christian Watson, who makes a nice play after the catch. Quiet first half for Watson. We'll see if he gets involved quickly here in half number 2, coming off a big game last week in the loss against San Francisco. Love to the other side of the field. It's Watson again. Down the field, wrapped up by Whitehead and Chanel, but not before bringing it into the red zone. A quick start to the third quarter here for Green Bay. From the 17, play action. Love under pressure for the end zone. It's Luke Musgrave with the score. The Packers did not even have the ball for 80 seconds. They march down the field. They finally find the end zone. Now they're going to go for 2 to look to tie the game. We'll see what the plan is here. It's Aaron Jones up the middle. He got it. We're knotted up at 14. A big drive from Green Bay. And now the Dragons offense has to respond. 2nd and 8. Here's Puma Whitlock. Backs up in the pocket. He connects with Michael Gallup to the 30. Puma's been very efficient today, 18 of 23, but only 143 yards. He hasn't looked downfield a lot because of the weather, not just because of the snow, but also because it's windy. Puma has to get rid of it, throwing out of the sack from Rashawn Gary. Had Gary been able to bring him down, that could have been bad, potentially knocking them out of field goal range. They will only kick the field goal. I get it's 4th and 1, basically in the red zone, but the Dragons just want to make sure they get the lead. That they do. It's now 17-14. 3rd and 6. Pass is batted down and incomplete. Good work from the defense. That was Javon Kinlaw who got a hand on it. So the Dragons get the stop. Good work by the defense, and now they get it back on offense. Up the middle, it's Griffin Weaver III, continuing to play well here down the stretch as he brings it to the 36-yard line. Under a minute to go in the third, 2nd and 3. Swift has room, finds a hole. DeAndre Swift down the field. He brings it to the 7. Both Griffin Weaver and DeAndre Swift have put some good games together here down the stretch. And with Swift, obviously, it's especially interesting because of the running back dilemma with both him and Mixon not under contract next year. Final play of the third. Isaiah Likely gets both feet in bounds. That's a touchdown. Puma Whitlock has now thrown a touchdown in every single game he has started as a rookie. That is wildly impressive consistency. I can't imagine many rookie QBs have done that. Very impressive. Speaking of impressive, nice tackle by Devin White on 3rd and short as Aaron Jones is going to lose a yard. White continuing to play very well here over the second half of the year, and the Packers just want to make it a one-score game as this kick from 54 is good, and it is now 24-17. Dragons back with it. They have the lead. They have the ball under 6 minutes to go. Let's see if nothing else, they can choose some clock. On 3rd and 8, it's incomplete. Swift was open in the flats. Puma Whitlock had a very similar missed throw in the Chicago game with Swift wide open for a first down, and the pass was incomplete. Here's Devontae Wyatt again on the following Packer drive, forcing a loss of 2, his second TFL of the game. Now it's 3rd and 12, maybe the biggest play of the game so far, and it's going to be a screen. No creativity here from Green Bay, and now they've got a tough choice. What do you do on 4th and 12? Do you go for it, or do you trust your defense? As you can see, the offense is back, and Green Bay has decided to punt it. They trust their defense. It's time for Puma Whitlock and the boys to finish it off. Puma on the run. What a throw for Michael Gallup to the 37. That was a really nice diving grab by Gallup, and then Puma Whitlock on the move. What a play. Now, unfortunately, the Dragons would do nothing with the rest of the drive. Mixon gets nothing. It's 4th and 10. The Dragons could go for a 54-yard kick, but with them not really trusting Cameron Dicker in long kick situations, especially with the elements, they're going to punt it away. Presley Harvin does not get a lucky bounce, and so the Packers will start at the 20. They have around 100 seconds. They have one timeout, and they need to go the length of the field. They need a touchdown. A field goal doesn't do it. Can the defense get the stop and finish it off? 2nd and 10. Here's Jordan Love. Looks downfield. It's caught by Watson to the 42. I think Jeff Okudah's done a really good job with Christian Watson today. Whenever Watson's had a big play, it has not been Okudah on him. Of course, Okudah, another guy on the last year of his deal, playing on the franchise tag. Here's Dontavion Wicks to the 36. Wicks, unfortunately for Green Bay, hurt on the play, and they're going to have to use their last timeout. They still have a minute 27. They've managed the clock well so far on this drive. Love, short throw for Jones. He's lit up in the backfield by Jordan Whitehead. 2nd and 10 now. Love wants it all. Looking for the end zone. It's dropped. Christian Watson had it in his hands. He had both feet in bounds, but he does not have the football. 3rd and 10. Love connects with Watson. He has room, and he scores a touchdown after all. Christian Watson makes up for his mistake, and this game is tied up at 24. So now that means Puma Whitlock is going to need one more big drive to wrap up his rookie year. 57 seconds and all 3 timeouts. And all the Dragons need is a field goal. Here's DeAndre Swift. Good start. That'll be a gain of 12 as the Dragons will use their first timeout. From the 36, Puma rolls out to the right under pressure. Short throw for Swift. He has a first down. Down the sideline, he is out of bounds at the 46. So the Dragons already are very close to field goal range. Just 2 plays in the drive. Big start for DeAndre Swift is now to hand off for Mixon with blocks. Mixon down the field. He's out of bounds at the 26. The Dragons are now definitely in field goal range. They still want to get closer if possible. 3rd and 10. Thomas open up the middle. Gets it to the 6 as the Dragons call their second timeout. They're still looking for the end zone, but they're not going to force the issue. 15 seconds from the 6. Puma calls an audible, rolls out to the right. Can't find anybody. He's going to look for Likely. It's caught! Isaiah Likely puts the Dragons on top with just seconds to go. The Puma Whitlock and Isaiah Likely connection fittingly is going to hopefully wrap up this season with a win. Now, interestingly, Isaiah Likely barely had the ball in his hands. As soon as he caught it, he let it go. I think he had possession, but he shouldn't have let the ball go so quick. Big drive from Puma Whitlock in the offense, and now Green Bay, they need a Hail Mary. Final play of the game. Love definitely does not get it there. It is caught by Watson, but he is well shy of the end zone, and that will do it. The Green Bay Packers no longer have their own fate in their hands as the St. Louis Dragons get the job done. They win it 31-24. The same exact score that we had in the Bears game earlier today, ironically enough. What a gutsy performance here by Puma Whitlock in the snow with some big drives down the stretch to ultimately lead us to the victory. Both QBs kind of started the game off slowly. It seemed like they were kind of feeling things out with the weather. But in the second half, both quarterbacks were really impressive, each with a 107.8 passer rating. Puma was a little bit more accurate. Jordan Love had a few more big throws. Regardless, both guys were really impressive down the stretch. On the ground, we ran the ball fairly well. They did not. Aaron Jones got really stuffed up. Quite the difference on the ground from last week. Big game for Christian Watson in the second half. Isaiah Likely, 7 catches, 2 touchdowns. And then defensively, I was impressed by Devontae Wyatt. No sacks. Simeon Bonnet got hurt in the second quarter. That explains why there was no pass rush after the first quarter. So the offense is pleased with the defense. Everybody is happy with each other going into the offseason. Hopefully we can keep it that way. It's not so much about liking each other. It's more so you got to pretend you like each other. And hopefully they do like each other, because otherwise that would be kind of bad. We need culture on this team. So hopefully we can all sing Kumbaya and we can eat s'mores by the campfire going into the offseason. Now we will simulate the week here to wrap up the regular season. Some storylines to watch out for include, where are we going to pick? Now it's going to be somewhere between picks 7 and 11. We are rooting for the Titans, the Jaguars, the Lions, and the Bengals to win their games. If they win, we'll pick before them. If they lose, we'll pick after them. Pretty simple. So we've now made it to the end of the year with a record of 6-10-1. New England loses to the Texans. Their undefeated season comes to a close. Of the 4 teams we wanted to win, unfortunately, only one of them got the job done, that being Tennessee. As for the number 1 pick, we had 3 teams coming into the week with 3 wins, and 2 of them, the Browns and the Colts, won. So after all that, the New Orleans Saints will have the number 1 pick in the draft. As for us, we will officially have the 10th pick in the draft. Players of the week, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, A.J. Terrell, and Joe Scobert. So that'll bring us into the playoffs, and that will wrap up today's episode as we split with the Bears and the Packers finishing 6-10-1, and we will have the 10th pick in the draft. Next episode will be our season recap. We're going to have our stud and dud of the year voting. Let me know some players you think deserve to be on the ballot for either the stud of the year race or the dud of the year race. We will also look at some of the late additions to the draft class, officially completing the Season 2 class, and get ourselves prepared for the offseason. Hope everybody enjoyed. It's been a really fun season with the Dragons. The team really showing some improvement, and I'm excited to build upon that here in the offseason. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.